welcome to TreasHERed, a channel that is meant to inspire, encourage, and empower women around the world. Thank you and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Today, I have two wonderful, talented, young people who have a film they're currently, working on, and they are here to tell us all about this movie. We have Shola Ajayi and Dimeji Ajayi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. Please, why don't you, Shola, go ahead and introduce yourself again and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do right now. And then Dimeji can go after you.
Hi, my name is Shola Ajayi. I am a filmmaker and screenwriter based in Lagos, Nigeria, but I also teach production and screenwriting classes here in New York City or in New York. And I'm the assistant director to Dimeji in the film A Fatherhood Tale.
Your turn, Dimeji.
Hi, I'm Dimeji Ajayi. I work for Microsoft. I'm a computer engineer, also a writer of a fiction series. I am working as the director and writer on A Fatherhood Tale with Shola Ajayi.
Okay, that's awesome. So the movie we're talking about, today, I am pretty excited and pumped about it. And it's called A Fatherhood Tale. And this is a very, interesting and compelling movie. And I also, happen to, be one of the producers as well of this upcoming movie. And today we're going to have Shola and Dimeji tell us, a little about this film, because we are all waiting in anticipation for this movie. It should be released next year or early next year, because we're going into filming, very soon, for this film. And this film is going to be filmed in Orlando, Florida. So why don't you, go ahead and tell, our viewers about this film.
Thank you. Fatherhood Tale is about Malik, a young parent that is confronting some childhood trauma on path to becoming a better person and a better father to his child. As a new parent myself, I had that apprehension to be too close to my daughter, thinking that just all the experiences you've seen through the world, just existing, they somehow pass it on to them, and you just want to protect them from all those things, and that kind of builds a wall between you and your child. And I thought that was a very interesting dynamic to show that I'm sure a lot of men feel becoming new parents. So I've read a lot of stories, and this was one that really stuck out to my sister, and I decided to try and make it a feature film.
Oh, awesome. That's great. And by the way, you are the writer of the story as well, right? This is
correct.
Your concept. That's awesome. So Shola, can you tell us, a little more about this film?
Yeah. So, COVID just happened, and we had all this time, especially with, everything happening with the lockdowns, Yes. So Dimeji and I are always bouncing ideas off of each other. I think there's like 4 or 5 different projects that we've talked about. But this one seemed really, really feasible and really powerful. He had been playing with this story for a while, and we were like, okay, what would this look like as a film? What would we want people to see? So slowly he and I would go back and forth on Google Docs, and add things and remove things and see how things are working together before we finally had a final script. And I was like, hey man, maybe we should have a table read, you know what I mean? And we had a very compelling table read with some actors that we just found online, and they really loved it. Like everyone that has read the script really love it. And it's been an amazing experience, hearing from other people, their reactions to the story. Like they really connect with our characters in this film.
Oh, that's great. That's actually, when the script was, presented to me, that's also, the attraction as well. Why, I came on board as well is because the story is really quite compelling, yes. And I'm very sure, it's going to be, an awesome movie. Can you really tell me, I think Dimeji alluded to it, in a way, please let our viewers know what really inspired you, about writing this story?
Oh yeah, being a parent and anywhere you can probably relate to having that fear of jumping into this new venture of fatherhood or parenting. And it's trying to embody that while also playing this other role, especially in the States. You try to find a balance between these two things while you're loving your child, especially Black men, which I could relate to mostly. We have to kind of have this tough posterior moving around just to kind of, and to have that while balancing trying to nurture someone that you care a lot about was something I found very compelling. I feel like somebody would be able to relate to it a lot. And the anxiety of passing on things that you've experienced to someone, to your loved one, it's always kind of a shield between you and your daughter. So it's something you really have to deal with because it does prevent your relationship. So me almost writing it as well helped with trying to understanding it a lot better. So that was most of my inspiration.
Oh, I mean, that's really awesome. And Shola, do you have anything about, to add to that, what Dimeji just said? Because I really like the fact that, you mentioned that about, especially, Black fathers and everything. And even for any man, having your child the very first time and you don't really know what to expect, people have a lot of, apprehension, anxiety, the trepidation of, oh, I'm going to become a father. And also, they think about, their own childhood, as well, and the relationship that they had, with their own fathers. Yeah. What do you think about that, Shola?
Yeah, I mean, that's really what really inspired me about the story, is this exploration of this man who suddenly has been kind of thrusted into this role, right? So he's a new father, having to deal with the fact that he has all these things that he hasn't worked out within himself. And like you see like this desire to be like, no, I don't want to pass this on to my seed. You know what I mean? I don't want to pass this on to my offspring. But I think, one of the big things for me, and Dimeji and I have been talking about this, like just examples of like fathers that we had seen on TV, you know what I mean? Yeah. And how all those fathers, are being nurturing, you know what I mean? But there's no backstory about like what they have dealt with. I think they deal with it a little bit in like Fresh Prince with Uncle Phil, but we don't really see that like with the Cosby Show. We don't really see that with like Family Matters, like what they dealt with as far as their trauma before becoming fathers and how they dealt with healing. And I think that that's the thing about this story is that like this person is trying to work through something, not just for themselves, but for their child, and I think that's the power within the story. There's a lot of power there.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Dimeji, do you want to, or somebody can just, either one of you can just talk about, the cast and the crew, so that pre-production is already well underway, so let us know, just tell us what you think we should know. You don't have to tell us everything, but just don't give it all away, but please just give us just tell us a little about it.
We have our location set pretty well. The story's been finalized. Casting is, I would say, 85% done. We want to be perfect on the people that will be leading the film for the most part. But we're pretty well on our way with pre-production. So we're not expecting any other further delays.
Yeah, and can I just add too that like we have like a great cinematographer. I actually wish that he was here to speak with you too. On the show because he's great. Like everyone will love him. He's very talented. He gets the vision. He understands the script. He gets everything that we're going for. So we have a great DP. I don't know if I should say his name. I don't know, but he's really talented. We're working with a producer who has a lot of experience with indie films, especially around targeting like Black communities and so on and so forth. But obviously, so for a wider audience. And then our composer, we have this like award-winning, Grammy-nominated composer that's helping us to put the music together for the film because he read the script and he's like, I need to be on this project. Like we met him during the table read And he was like continually emailing us like, oh, what's going on with the film? What's going on with the film? What's going on with the film? Like, he's been so supportive since like we first started, you know? So I'm so happy to have him on board to be working with us on this. So there'll be more details about the cast and crew on our fundraising campaign as well.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm pretty excited about it myself. So do you want to tell us anything about distribution, or is that something you want to wait on? Do you want to let us know anything about it right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing that we can say about distribution is that there are people that are interested in streaming it and distributing it so a wider audience can get access to it. And we really want, Dimeji and I have been talking about like, who do we want to watch this, you know, especially because the film itself can be like a teaching tool. So like men's groups, you know what I mean? Like using it as an avenue to talk about, okay, like, so what was the first thing that you remember being scared about when you found out you were going to be a father, you know, and how did you work through that and how that can help other men, you know? So like, yeah, we're excited about the distribution part.
Okay, so now how, of course I know this, but I still have to ask you so our audience can know, you know, so how do you propose to fund this film, you know, entirely?
Yeah, we're planning on crowdfunding it. I think it's a good tool, not only to raise the fund, but also to raise awareness for people that will probably be interested in seeing it. So we kind of hit two birds with one stone with that one. We're going to be having the campaign link that people should have access to. Okay,
so if someone is out there, since this is such a great project, I mean, believe me, it is great, you know, and if I say so, you know, it's awesome. So if someone is out there and is interested in maybe even donating towards the project, how would they go about it? Do you have information for them? Who do they need to contact? Or how do they contact you? And can you just let our viewers know if you have that information right now?
So we have our fundraising campaign with Indiegogo. So we'll share the link with you so that you can share that with your viewers. We also have the email address, tell our own tales at gmail.com. So people can reach out to us there if they have any specific questions about wanting to support us or have any questions about like where they can find more information about us. And then we're also on all the social media platforms, I think Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then the website. The website is tellourown.tales.com. So those are, and we'll make sure that they can have that on the screen or something so that they can click and check it out.
Oh, awesome. So we're going to have that. I mean, there's going to be, you know, the link below. I mean, for all that information, if you would want to contact, you know, anyone, you know, in production, you know, for this film. And the name of the film, the title is A Fatherhood Tale. And it's a quite interesting and is full of, you know, drama and very compelling, you know, and interesting film. And I am really pumped about it. So let us, So what, I think my final question to you is, what is the moral behind this story? I think, Dimeji, you can go first.
The moral behind the story, I'd say, is we move around this world with a lot of baggage, emotional baggage, of, you know, anxiety, and when you're trying to love and nurture, it's important to deal with these things coming up because it not only makes you a better asset to them, but better for yourself as well. And dealing with all these things, especially in current climate for everyone, it's very important for even their health to make sure that these things are handled beforehand.
Everything that Dimeji said is perfect. I just wanted to add in about the various themes that people will be experiencing in this. You know, we have friendship, right? This relationship between husband and wife, relationship between parents, you know, healing, like what Dimeji was talking about, and then redemption and forgiveness is a lot of it. But I think healing at the end of the day is the big moral message, you know, is how to heal through trauma so that you can move forward.
Oh, that's great. And let me tell you, and this is not only for fathers, even first-time moms as well. You know, they have the same, you know, anxiety. You know, you find out that you're going to be a mother for the first time. this is not only mothers can learn from it as well. And especially sometimes even people like maybe even single parent or even those that are married, it's hard for couples to deal with it, let alone, even one parent. So there's a lot, to learn from this story. Also, people's background, how, that also, plays a role when they, become fathers, or maybe mothers, for the first time. A lot of people go through this. They have a lot of, apprehension about becoming a parent for the first time. And especially for those who have maybe gone through traumatic background, they want to protect their children. They don't want that passed on, to their children. They say, okay, what they experience, they don't want their children to experience that. So that's another way, of dealing with it. And also, people always maybe undermine even the emotional, psychological aspect of it, of becoming, a first-time parent. Sometimes even just holding, the baby, people are, they're just like so anxious, like, oh, especially with men, so it's hard. It's something that I think a lot of people would learn from, as well. So that's really, the moral behind this story. And, like I said, I'm also involved in this film, and this is, I'm really hyped and pumped about it. And I know that it's really, going to be quite an awesome project, at hand. And I'm really, really, really excited to have, these, talented young people, on the show. And thank you, so much. Do you have just any final word, before we go, for our viewers?
We had a conversation with the cinematographer, and we were just talking about how powerful this could be for the Black community, to see these images and to watch this story. But he made a good point that like it crosses over race, like it could be something that like people of different races can relate to, especially because they're becoming new parents, so like people wanting to be good parents to their children. It crosses over. It's not just, the target is not just Black people, but like also like the idea is that it's open to everyone. These are stories that everybody can care about. So just emphasizing that. I wanted to say that.
Oh, absolutely. And, guess what? Even when I see people come to have, babies in the hospital, you can tell the first-time parents. You can tell the parents from, you can totally tell. So even the way they hold the baby, sometimes the fathers are so scared to even hold, the baby.
Exactly, yeah.
So I totally understand and I get it. And I know that a lot of parents, they go through this. And do you have anything else to add to it, Dimeji, before we go?
Oh, yeah, just, definitely support the film. If you want to see new stories, the constant monotony of other stories, that you want to see something different on screen and feel an emotional attachment to characters, I think it's right up your alley. This is a good step in that direction.
Yes, and we have everything like pretty much, wrapped in it. It's all there. It's such, an interesting and compelling, story. And I think it's going to, also, be a blockbuster as well. Right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Thumbs up to that. And thank you so much, Shola and Dimeji. And once again, Dimeji, is the director of this movie, Fatherhood Tale. Shola is assistant director, and Dimeji is the story writer, and they both share credit for, screenplay writer. And of course, I'm one of the producers, as well. Hopefully next time, at least before the film is released, we'll be able to bring more people in that are involved, in the film, like cast and.
That'd be great.
Thank you so much for watching, and please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We have young people doing great things. We're looking forward to when the movie premieres, and also, getting the cast on board for us to do, a follow-up to
another one. Definitely, that sounds great. Yeah, yes. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so thank you so much.